Come, gather round, everyone. They're about to talk Disney. I am still so confused as to whether I'm going to eat at Connections or Creations. So the only way I can keep them straight is I have to think, okay, well, my mouth connects to my stomach, so I guess that's Connections.
So I call Catherine to see how dinner at the restaurant is going, and she says, I can't talk to you right now. I'm talking to Mickey. So I'm like, okay, here's the big cheese. I get it. And then she says, hold on, he wants to talk to you. So she FaceTimes me, and I'm FaceTiming with Mickey as I'm getting ready for the podcast.
I don't understand why people spend hard-earned money on a Mickey ice cream sandwich in the parks. I mean, we literally all have ice cream sandwiches in our freezers at home. We don't have Mickey bars. From the mind and creator of the Disney YouTube channel Living in Diz comes a whole new Disney podcast. Okay, can we talk some serious Disney here now? Nope. Get ready for all the Disney knowledge that you can handle. It's Corey. It's Lawrence. It's the Diz Pod.
You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
Oh, you're muted. Yep.
I was all set, ready to go. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Diz Pod. I think this is episode number 39.
Sure, let's go with that. I think so.
I think it is. And so next week, number 40 will not be live, so we can't celebrate that live.
Yeah.
But, that's okay. It's still going to be number 40 if this is number 39. So really cool. And I can't believe that it's coming up where we've talked 40 times.
I'm already thinking for the 50th, we do something a little special. Happens to be the first night, I think, that we were on was the 19th of June, which this year is a Wednesday. So we can celebrate the 1 year anniversary on the show. So that'll be pretty cool.
So celebrating, oh, wow. You're talking 1 year since we've been doing it together?
1 year, yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Since we went to YouTube, yeah.
Wow. Corey is not happy about having to do a pre-recorded podcast. Says Catherine, I'm fine. I am fine with it. I mean, we've gotten accustomed to doing it live and interacting with everybody. We do it live because we do it for all of you who are listening, but and we appreciate that. And we love all of our people that watch or listen later on as well. You just do it when you can, where you can. And we're almost caught up with the retro episodes, I think, right?
Both ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the new episodes are almost caught up on the audio versions on Spotify and iHeartRadio. And then the original versions are now almost caught up on YouTube. So yeah. That'll be a lot easier once that's all done.
Yes, because after we do it live, we'll throw it over to Spotify as well and all that, and we'll be up to current, which is good. But definitely appreciate taking the first hit over here, everyone. And we're just hoping the other people that listen on the other platforms just found us there, and they continue to do that too.
Yeah.
So awesome stuff. And how was your week this week?
This week was good. We went to Universal Circus on Sunday. So that was a lot of fun. That was Finley's first time at that circus, but it's her third time at a circus this year. because we went to Ringling Brothers, which came back. So we did that last month, and then we did this little small circus a little bit before that. So it was cool. It was cool.
What? So is Brothers far and above the others? If you had to like rank them, we have to rank everything.
Yeah. So they're all back to one ring. You know, Ringling Brothers used to be 3 rings. Now it's 1. But I thought with what they did, it was a very good show. There aren't really clowns. They're not dressed up as clowns, no makeup or anything like that. But they're still funny acts. There's no animals. So it's really more acrobatic and stunt based. But again, it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed it.
Sure. When you have little ones, doing any of those types of things is always a winner.
Exactly.
Yeah. Some of the things that happened to me this week. So when you live in Florida, there is always most communities have something they call Citizens on Patrol, COP.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to a community the other day, and I'm driving like 17 miles. No, let's say I was driving 17 miles an hour. I slowed down to go over a speed bump, and what was in front of me was one of those electronic speed limit signs.
Oh yeah,
that tells you what you're doing.
Yeah,
I was doing 14 miles an hour over the bump, maybe 12 by the time I hit it.
Yeah.
And I hear this cackling on the side of me. It was an older gentleman in a golf cart that said Citizens on Patrol. He's like, "You're going quite fast there, Sonny." I looked out the window. I'm laughing. And then he continues on, but I had to stick my head way out the window. I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm going over a speed bump." I'm like, and it said 14 miles an hour.
Yeah.
In a 15.
I mean, clearly the sign is there. It says how fast I'm going.
Yeah. I didn't let it end there, though. I didn't let it end there for a moment. I went into my patient's house, and I'm like, there's a guy out there, and I'm looking out for him. I need to have some more interaction with him. He did drive by her house a few minutes later, and then I was out walking with her, and he was driving by, and I kind of watched him go by, and he didn't really look at me, so I'm like, I'll leave it there. But I was going to say, I was the one you were yelling at. Have a little fun. Have a little fun with that.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's been a good week. We're packing. We're getting ready for our trip coming up. Catherine is making a lot of shirts.
Ooh,
yeah.
Work it, Streamstress. Work it. Speaking of shirts, is that a new one you have on? I think I've seen you wear that one before.
I have worn this one. It's just the princess. It's a Disney 100.
Oh, okay.
Nice. With the princesses on it and the castle.
So that's not that doesn't have the LID label on it or the DizPod label on it?
No, it is a Streamstress exclusive.
We need labels on these shirts that say the DizPod.
I like that idea.
Yeah, like as worn on the DizPod, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was racing here today. I don't speed. I am the slowest driver out there on the roads. That is the truth. I got so many. Yeah, this week for me is the story of yellow lights. So I thought about that. What and when it turns yellow, Tammy gets after me because she's Tammy Two Wheels. I am most likely to stop as soon as it turns yellow and not try to go through. What do you think the percentage is that you do that? I thought of that. Let me ask Lawrence that. So for me, probably 86.3% is when I don't go through the yellow.
Wow.
You can plead the fifth if you want to.
I'm gonna say probably 60-40 that I go through.
Yeah, I mean it's all about timing it, right?
Exactly.
But, you hate when it turns red when you're off. I watch it all the way till I can't see the light anymore, and then sometimes it turns red and you go, darn, I did that. I got sick of the yellows, so I think I did that earlier today or yesterday.
If I have the sunroof open, I'll watch it through the sunroof and be like, nope, see, it was yellow when I went through. It was still good.
Yep. That's right. Pedal to the metal on yellow, says PDC. Thought of a funny story quickly too, where I had this new patient today, sweetest lady, and she has trouble with moving her right leg, and she had a lot of pain on the inner thigh. So I decided to do some soft tissue work on her leg a little bit. And I was looking off to the side for a moment, and out of the blue, she goes, "What are you thinking?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next." And so get a little further into the massage there. And then I looked at her, and she kind of had a look. I go, "What are you thinking?" She goes, "I'm thinking that a good looking man is rubbing my leg and I'm a lucky girl." I don't know. I'm 52
That's
now.
one way to look at it.
Yeah, I'm 52 now. I don't know. Some was it pheromones? Something's coming off of me lately because they're coming at me lately. I don't know how to handle it. So, Charles in Charge says 37 hours till we enter the bubble for our first Disney vacation. That is awesome, Charles.
Wow.
That is awesome, Charles. I don't know if you just discovered us, but if you've been following us, I hope you learned a lot from us because we teach a lot on this channel, on the podcast, and in the parks while we're live. So welcome. We're very excited for you. And if you happen to see us, we always love to say hello to people. So definitely say hello to us for sure.
Charles, how long are you going to be there?
Yeah, what's your schedule? It's easy for me to tell my schedule. I'm in Magic Kingdom tomorrow night, and Saturday. Still don't know where I'm going to be yet.
Still up in the air. Okay.
Yeah, and I've officially taken off Thursday and Friday next week as well.
Did you?
I did. Jake,
I like that.
Yep. School's out, so I took that off. I emailed my supervisor. I'm like, "How many hours do I have?" She's like, 110. I was like, "Whoa, thank you." She goes, "What do you mean? You earned it. You earned that time off." I'm thanking her. So Lawrence, did Corey say he's irresistible? You know the truth for now. It's a small moment in time there, Neil. It's a small moment in time. The insiders know some of it. And I don't even have the white gimbal. Saturday, Magic Kingdom. Monday, AK. Tuesday, Hollywood Studios. And Thursday, Epcot.
Thursday, I'll be in Epcot.
There you go.
And Tuesday, I'll be at Hollywood.
He will miss me.
So
I will miss him. I will miss him. PDC's coming too, March 11th to the 16th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it is spring break, so there's a good amount of people that are going to be there, and spring break is why we're going to be there because our friend's daughter's in college, and she's going to watch the younger siblings. So that's why they could go this week coming up. So we'll be there.
Taylor's World says, "Here's one for both of you. How many times have you been on Tron?" It hasn't been that much. Lawrence probably knows how many times I've been on Tron. Viewers might know how many times I've been on Tron. I think 3.
Are you on 3? I was going to say, I think it's 3.
But I'm going to try to... This is why, because if I try to go on during the week, they run that queue very differently from Guardians. Guardians, you can go on anytime after your number's called.
Yep.
Or your party, but you can't if your party is called for Tron. It's like an hour, isn't it? Still,
that's right.
So if they call while I'm at work, I can't go on.
Interestingly enough, at 4:50 today, the queue was still open. Actually,
the queue
is still open. Go ahead.
Wow.
I'll take over the show. You go.
I'm going. Neil, meet me at Tron. No, he won't go on. He'll support me though. He'll support me from down below.
Tron is still. It is on a Wednesday, and Tron virtual queue is still open. But people have been talking about the park is dead today. So, that's wild though.
One of those weird things, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, we have an interesting subject like we do every week, and it is where can I meet characters at Disney World? We can help.
I thought we're going to tackle some topics that people might not think about. And I thought this one, there's so many to meet, and I bet people don't even think about it. Like we just did the members only podcast, and we were doing a bracket on character meet and greets, and Corey had a couple of them in there, and I was like, wait, where can you meet like Winnie the Pooh? Like you can meet Winnie the Pooh at the ride. Totally forgot about that because it's during the day, and so we don't really get to see it a lot. So totally forget about some of those. So we're going to go through that. We'll talk about character dining and talk about some of our favorite interactions. But I have to ask you, your shirt. I've not seen that before, have I?
I mean, I talked about your shirt and failed to go into mine. So before we get into this, I've got a few things to talk about here. So this, I got a better way to show this to you.
All right.
So today was a character warehouse run for Tammy and Jacob. So I'm going to show you all what we got. I'm sure most of you would be very excited to see what our character warehouse haul was today. So here's the print. It is a Disneyland button down with Haunted Mansion, the monorail, the Dapper Dans, the train, pirates. I see a Mickey ice cream bar and no ice cream sandwiches on here.
Oh, the Dapper Dans are on a bike.
Why do I have two?
I've never seen them on a bike. Why do you have two?
Who else would wear this one? That's yours.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
Very cool.
You're welcome. $25. You can't beat that.
Yeah. Disney button down at $25. That's pretty good.
Yes. And
very nice.
$5. I've been looking at this thing since this is one of these things. And I told Jacob about it. This is the red Lando Calrissian t-shirt. $5.
Wow.
Shirley Renee says matchy matchy. So the thing about this is one of those products that you look at it, you like it, but you don't like it enough to pay the full price.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to Character Warehouse and you look at things, you go, okay, now to me, that's a great buy for $5. So it's one of those.
Yeah.
So got the Lando shirt.
I do remember seeing that shirt in the parks.
It was around for a long time too.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one that if it was $10, I probably wouldn't have gotten it. But we've got Mr. Incredible at $5. Keep it 100. So we got that one too. You know what though? You know what's weird? I'm holding a medium in my hands. So did Tammy said she didn't get anything. Oh, maybe Jacob got one. I just grabbed everything off the floor to come in here. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, Jacob probably got one, yeah.
He must really like it because he hasn't bought a Disney t-shirt in a long time.
Oh. So how often do you go to the warehouse, or does Tammy go to the warehouse?
They usually go when Jacob has his special medical appointments because they're in Orlando already.
Okay.
And I think that's maybe once every 3 months.
Okay.
So I always love a trip to the Character Warehouse. Which one is your favorite, Corey? Man. I go to Vineland more than the other one, so probably Vineland.
Mm-hmm.
Vineland Road, which is closest to Disney, everybody.
Yep.
This is last year's Lunar New Year.
Mm.
And it's a Spirit jersey for Jill.
That's
and
awesome.
I think it was $12.99.
Wow.
For a Spirit jersey. So Character Warehouse is a good place to hit up everybody.
And that for anybody that doesn't know, that is just an open to the public outlet mall, separate from the I'll forget the name of it now.
Separate for Cast Connections, which is for cast members only. These are super discounted items from the parks. And sometimes it's weird, but you can find clearance items in the parks. I mean, in the Character Warehouse, but they're still full price in the parks. Like, it's really weird. It's really weird. Yeah. Tammy got the medium. You told me you didn't get anything.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Good. Because I hate for her to go and not. And they do such a great job with me because I'm working, so Jacob live streamed. I said live streamed. He FaceTimed me for a little bit, did some shopping, and I was like, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take this.
Nice.
Um, you liked this year's, so I'm not shocked you got that. Yeah, that was for Jill. Mickey Carroll, welcome to the podcast. Says, good to see your stream. And I got this one. This is the Halloween one.
Oh, I like Mickey.
Oh yeah, I mean Mickey makes the whole shirt, right?
Yeah.
So this is one of those like for the price all day long. And it's a patch. It's a patch. It's not
Oh,
part of
okay.
the material. So Nanny Pooh says she loves that. And this one was now remember everybody, these button down shirts typically go for $59.99,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
$7.99. Catherine couldn't get the materials
Nope.
for
Nope.
$7.99.
Sure couldn't.
All right, this is the last button down. It may look familiar.
It does look familiar.
I got this from Anne. So this one is for you.
Oh, thank you.
It is Christmas Mickey and Minnie. So
That's very cool.
yeah. Are you guys cheating on me? No. No. Oh, no. No. I was trying to think of good comebacks.
I'm wearing one of the originals. I can't believe it. I can't believe we had just...
And the last thing is they had these droid boxes, which I think they're still available in Galaxy's Edge. So it's a droid box.
Uh-huh.
Jacob and I bought one time. Jen W says it's a bromance. Jacob said, "Open it up." This is Jacob's. He said, "Open it up on the pod if you want." So we're gonna open it up, and like I said, I believe these are still very much available in Galaxy's Edge. It's in the Droid Depot, and so it's a surprise box. You don't know what droid you're gonna pull out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you open the bottom, and then let's see what we get in here. Here's your bag, the blind bag. And I have one in my other room, but we opened one on stream, or a couple. Jen W says BB-8. Let's see what we got. No, it is a BB. It's a BB unit. Okay. No, it's not a BB unit. This would be an R5. So there's the head. That's how you know. It's an R5 unit. His colors are really cool. I think that they're orange and blue. Like a navy, darker blue, maybe. And there's his body. So you'll put them together. And it comes with the arms. So it's a little droid that you get to put together. So those are fun. And I think regular price in the parks is either $24 or $16.99. Oh, $16.99. He got this for half price. Or $7.99.
Nice.
So there you go. That was our haul. I figured you all would like to see our haul today from the Character Warehouse. Neil still says he's going to bring me to Cast Connections someday. I would love that.
I like that.
Cast Connections is crazy because you can find furniture. Like I got to go once, and I mean, you'll see furniture from the resorts. Like there was Animal Kingdom furniture one time. There'll be signs. Just anything random. It's like everything must go, kind of thing.
I wonder how much of when they refresh. I wonder how much, like what percentage of it they actually sell, as opposed to have to get rid of because it's damaged or whatever. You probably sell a pretty good bit, I would think.
Yeah, especially those odd items, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see. James Gearhart earlier said last night was the first night for Disney Channel After Dark event at Disneyland. James talks a lot about Disneyland. Are you closer to Disneyland, James? Because we miss some of that news now and then.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we know most about that. Jen W loves the blind boxes. Talk about blind boxes before we totally get into characters. When Jacob was younger, we used to get into the soft packages for the Lego guys. And I was really, really good at it. You really have to invest your time in that. So blind boxes can be fun. All right, kick us off with characters.
So let me ask in chat, how much of a priority is it for you to meet characters? Um, I'm trying to think for us. I don't think it's a priority. Like when we went to Jollywood Nights, we didn't meet any characters. When we go to the Halloween party, we don't meet any characters. But like when we were in Epcot and we saw Jasmine, no wait, yeah, let's go meet her. So I think it just really depends. We did also meet Asha from Wish recently, and that was really cool. Um, I did not get a video of that, but we did get some pictures. So I think for me, it's a toss up. I'm certainly not going to wait 2 hours to meet Jack Skellington because, in my personal opinion, you're wasting a lot of money by standing online waiting to meet a character during a Halloween party that you paid for. Um, so Nanny Pooh Bear says it's a big priority. Loves meeting characters. Jen says she meets characters if the line is low or if they have a cute outfit on. Okay, so you like the specialty outfits. That's good. That's good. So let me pull up some of my favorites. And so I
It's
had.
weird.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's weird. It looks like your audio is fine, but video wise, I see you freezing a little bit.
Yeah, I thought that.
I don't know if it's you or me.
No, I think it's me.
Okay. Whenever you see an opportunity,
Yeah. Okay.
down the line, if you want it, if it continues, you can go out and come back in.
Gotcha. So, you can meet characters in all four parks, obviously. And I'm not going to answer, but let me ask chat. Are there characters that you can meet in every one of the parks? So, can you meet the same character in every one of the parks? Does somebody meet at all four parks?
That's
They
great question.
they announced, gosh, I think it might have been Monday, that Russell and Doug are meeting at Animal Kingdom. So it will probably be a priority for us to meet Russell because Catherine will be dressed like Russell. So, so I'm sure that'll be a priority for us to meet Russell. So, I think that also depends. Oh, I didn't pull that picture in. The picture of my family at the Halloween party when we were all dressed like princesses. So we went to meet princesses. So then it was a priority. So I think kind of like what Gen W was saying is if they're dressed in a special outfit, if we were dressed in a special outfit like them, then it would be a priority for us to meet them. So yeah, she'll be Russell and I'll be Carl.
My memory of meeting Doug and Russell was Jacob crying in fear. The first year he went to Disney as a 3-year-old, he loved every character. The next year he went, scared of every single one of them.
Wow.
But Belle, yeah.
Wow. I wish I would have found the first picture that we took of Finley meeting a character, and you could see, like, we had to hold her, and she is like just bundled into Catherine, um, because and I think it was Pluto, if I remember correctly, just wasn't up to it. And now, I mean, you saw her with Jasmine, just talk with them. So I like when it does start to change.
Yes, she's a different kid now.
Yeah.
We're all enjoying her now. Not that we didn't enjoy her before. She was just quiet. And now she's so much fun.
Yeah, I was telling Neil earlier, to see her walking through the park with Neil and Alyssa. I mean, they went and took her off and went to the next country to go do the scavenger hunt. And she was like, yeah, bye. Or when Tammy went and walked or watched her when we went on Everest. She's like, yeah, but she's been around all of you so long. And we're so close now. So,
yeah. Yep. For sure.
So, yeah. So let me bring up some of the pictures. So I talked about Asha. So there's Finley meeting Asha, and that was pretty early on when she had first met, and um, Catherine wanted to get her that Spirit jersey. And so luckily they were selling it in port of entry right across from where Asha was meeting. So we went and put that on while we were waiting in line.
Oh,
Here's the group with Chewie. And that was Neil's first time meeting Chewie, which I think is wild because I would have thought he would have met him a long time ago.
I know. That was shocking.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it for Neil.
There's Sam with Donald in Mexico. This, you really don't find this on the app, and I'll go through how to find him on the app, but he was meeting, Max was meeting in Hollywood Studios when we were there. Meeting Figment. Of course, that was not a 5-hour wait when we went, but he's meeting in the Imagination Pavilion. And again, we had to meet him. You see, she's wearing a Figment shirt. There's Sam with Minnie.
Look at their poses together.
Mm-hmm. There's Neil and family.
Look at that.
Guess that's at Chef Mickey's.
Very nice. Look at Neil's pose. Neil's got that special pose going on. I love Minnie so much. I love looking at her shoes.
Yeah.
She has so many different pairs of shoes, but hey, when you're a female mouse, you're going to have shoes.
There you go.
Oh, remember? Okay, we'll talk. Okay. I'm coming up with stories, so keep going.
Sure. Speaking of Minnie, we're meeting Minnie in Epcot, right at the front of the park there. That was during our Moana preview day. So Finley's dressed as Moana. And there's Sam with the big guy as Sorcerer Mickey. So, you if you have a favorite character, just about you're going to be able to meet them in one of the parks. To me, certainly the Fab Five meet all over the place, and Mickey is the one that you can meet in all 4 parks. I don't know if there's anybody else like that.
I mean, Mickey would be the easiest one, and probably Minnie. But obviously you're not going to meet like Sully in Animal Kingdom, and
Right.
most of them are pretty easy to figure out. Without us really breaking it down, I'd probably say to meet the Fab Five, Fab 4 is probably good for every park, wouldn't you say? But after that, it's
then it starts to get a little more. It's made for that park, right? So, like in Epcot, we have the princesses in their respective countries, which is kind of cool. You have Alice. You're not going to get Alice in, Animal Kingdom. It'll be interesting when they redo Animal Kingdom to see what characters they add to meet there. That'll be kind of cool. So, if you want to know where to meet characters, I did bring up this. I made this video. So if you go to your app, the easiest thing you can do is go to the map. You hit the map, and then at the very top where it says wait times, you can change that to characters. And then the little icons will pop up, and that will be where you can meet each of the characters. So you'll get a good representation of where to meet them. And so there's where they meet back in Storybook Circus. And if you click on it, it'll show you the hours that they're meeting folks so that you know that as well. Now, Mickey back at Town Square, he's going to be there probably the longest. He's there from 9 to 9:30. So you're going to be able to meet Mickey, but of course it's Mickey, right? Should have the longest meet and greet. You can also do that by going to the tip board if you like a list rather than a map, you can scroll down and you'll see it'll say meet Mickey at Town Square, meet princesses, and then you'll be able to see again the times. And then if you need to find them on the map, you can find them there. You can kind of do the same thing with character dining. So if you pull up your app, you go to check dining, put in your party, put in your date. You can then filter and say only character dining. And then you can pull up all of the places that are character dining. It'll tell you whether breakfast and lunch or dinner is available. And sometimes if you scroll all the way down, it will show you some of the characters that are meeting there. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, from what I've seen in the app. So that's kind of an idea on the app where you can find your favorite characters. So I'm going to step away, let you take over for a minute, go out and come
All
back.
right, try to refresh that. Okay.
Yep.
The good thing is the audio was fine, but
Okay, good.
just kind of freezing. So, okay,
Yep.
no worries there. If you all have some nice little stories to let us know about, some great interactions that you've done, let us know, and we'll try to highlight them and talk about them. So Nana Pooh Bear says, I met the Incredibles in Hollywood Studios last year, which was fun because my room was themed The Incredibles. So you really rounded that one out. So that is really cool. And, there are certain ones that we just never forget. And I'm trying to remember the best ones that I can think of. And I've already forgotten about, I went to get something to write down. And I forgot which one I was going to talk about, but so maybe we'll remember it. And let's see, and it would be really nice to have the characters roam like they do in Disneyland. They're starting to do that a little bit in Magic Kingdom, which is very exciting. And I hope that continues to grow because that's just an awesome thing to, especially, you're watching the fireworks in the back of the carousel and behind the castle, and to see princesses just come out and roam freely is really amazed. It's really, really cool that they do that. And Goofy Guy says, well, this works when I'm minimized and go to other apps. Good. I think that's a good thing.
So, one thing that I wanted to mention was a lot of people talk about Disney World and or Disneyland and how the characters kind of free roam over there. And that's true, but you will find that, number one, we have more meet and greets because we have 4 parks as opposed to the 2. And then the other thing that I find is that now in Epcot, they're kind of, I guess testing would be the right word, different rare characters. So you could be out there, you're not going to find them on the app, and they're just out there meeting. I'm trying to think of some of the ones I've seen recently. Jiminy Cricket, I think I saw over there.
Yes.
I want to say
such a thrill.
Yeah, I think
it's a
Baloo
thrill
or something.
Like I never downplay walking by any characters at all. It's still a thrill for me. I'll keep an eye on them as I'm walking by because it's a character still.
Mm-hmm.
And but seeing Jiminy Cricket, Jollywood, was it Jollywood that we saw?
Jollywood, yeah.
Jiminy Cricket,
yeah.
That was like next level excitement for me. Like, oh my god, it's Jiminy Cricket. I don't know if I've ever seen Jiminy Cricket in person. So when you see a rare character or someone you've never seen before, it's still a thrill for me too.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of my favorite character interactions, if we go back to just recently, this was that early February, was meeting Jasmine. So let me show you that all if you didn't get to see it.
Have you looked for Figments? I have personally not looked for the dragon. I'm busy looking for a monkey. I wish we had time to look for yes. Oh, there is a monkey around here. Yes. If you go that way, when you turn that way, you'll see it. The genie turned him into a PG to stop him from eating my
You hear that?
It's really effective.
You find a monkey PG to PG?
It works every time. See, Moose called the genie's magic lamp. And that's his vacation home. So that wasn't going to work. Absolutely not going to fly, especially with the genie flying around with a magic carpet.
Yeah.
It was not a hit. So the genie came back here and snapped his fingers and turned the into a painting, so he stopped running off right as he was about to steal his favorite pot. So we're glad he got frozen where he is, and then Aladdin gets to go find it later, because it's his monkey, right? Right?
Nice. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jasmine. Say bye-bye.
The pocket inside is like my favorite genie is sitting on a beautiful
Come here, baby.
on Aladdin's first day before in China. We sat on one of the beautiful Well, to take you there next time. What do you think?
We would love to
That would be good.
for the magic carpet ride.
Of course, you always have to take a magic carpet ride. You know, you have to world the
Jasmine's camera.
Thank you, Jasmine. Say hi to Aladdin for us. Thank you.
And don't forget to
So, she...
Wait a minute. We have to stop right there.
Go ahead.
Neil has the in that scene, he has the Incredibles 100 shirt.
Yeah.
Wow, I forgot he just had it the other day.
When
Wow.
you
Okay.
showed it earlier, I was like, oh, that's going to be a good one because I knew it was coming up.
Okay, Neil, we have to be matchy. I don't think Neil's in chat anymore. We have to be matchy. I'm gonna send a photo to him later.
Yeah. So I just thought, like, if you look at that interaction, and I cut a lot of that out because Finley was so talkative, and Jasmine just sat there and talked. Finley talked to her about her markers and something she was watching on YouTube. Jasmine has no idea what YouTube is, but she sat there and just interacted so much. And then when it came, to us, or even to Neil and Alyssa, who didn't have a child with them, she's still very much interactive. And I think it's great. I think I'm like Corey was saying, he said it a couple times, where he doesn't do a lot of character interactions because he's not sure, especially if it's just him, like how to interact with the characters. And the best thing to do is understand that you're stepping into their world, right? So it's them, it's their life, it's their story. So that's what you have to talk to them about. So, don't ask them, to go watch you on YouTube because they're not going to know how to do that, but talk to them about, Genie putting, helping Aladdin and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And when we talk about character dining, I wasn't there for this one, but one of the funniest character interactions I've ever seen. So let me show you that.
Did they tip well? They didn't tip well. What? Oh yeah, go get him, Donald. Go take him down. Hey, look, he's taking a fit. They did not tip well. We better tip well. He is having a fit, like Donald would. The nerve of people, right? You? Yeah. What are you gonna do? There you go. Yeah. You lay the money out. You lay it out, right? Man. Exactly. You gotta pay. Just watching that, if I step away and pretend it's not me, like that's the funniest and most involved interaction I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
I had to be out of my mind to come up with all of that so quick and interact with him like that. It's really funny. It's really funny.
And you have to be good at charades.
Right.
And that scene also goes on for a little bit longer, and he goes to scaling down the side of the building. Like, it's really, really good. So, yeah, if you have the chance, and Donald's one of the best because he's, um, he kind of took over the irreverence from Mickey Mouse when Mickey Mouse had to become more, reverent. Then they kind of gave that to Donald. So Donald's kind of out there and he can throw a tantrum and throw a fit, and nobody thinks anything of it. So um, now the new Mickey shorts is kind of like what Mickey used to be. So
Imagine if we
that,
could somehow get a Mickey meet and greet like with that Mickey.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Okay, okay, Disney, if you're listening, that's what we need next. We need a Mickey character shorts meet and greet.
Well,
Figure it out.
you've asked for Steamboat Willie. Would you rather Steamboat Willie or that Mickey shorts Mickey?
Mickey shorts.
Yeah, I
I love
agree.
Mickey shorts so much.
Yeah.
Mickey shorts is my thing at night when I sit down and I'm like, I'm too tired to get into even like a half-hour episode of something, but there's always Mickey shorts. So let's just throw some Mickey shorts on. I might last for one or two or
Yeah.
three, and I'm good to go to bed after that. Love it. Oh, but Donald, I bonded with Donald that day in my mind,
Hmm.
and I just um I love meeting him so much more now. It's special for me to meet Donald every time because we had that moment together, and I now ask him all the time, "Are you gonna go take a fit? Don't go taking a fit now when you leave." And he likes it. He likes that interaction.
And who did you run
Yes.
around Cape May with? Was that
Okay. It's funny because I've been taking notes as we've been talking, so I've got
okay?
some good ones for me. So we stayed at was it Beach Club with you, or was it
Yacht Club.
Yacht Club?
Yacht
Okay,
Club.
so we stayed at Yacht Club with you, and we decided, hey man, we're hungry. Last minute thing, so we just go down to Cape May and asked if we could have a seat, right? And
Yeah.
they sat us. They sat us at the very last minute, and so we did the meet and greets. And I was thinking too, I'm like, okay, this is different. Will I approach this different? Will I be more chill because we're not live, and I want to make it the best interaction for the audience and everything while we're live. But that didn't stop me. I just still met them like we were live, which was awesome. And so Goofy comes over, and I believe he was dressed in like a what, like a 19, what was he dressed in? It was like a 1920s
Yeah.
bathing suit
Yep.
or okay. And we were talking with Goofy, and we got the idea that what was it that he was building a sandcastle, and we were gonna go swimming with him, maybe if I'm
Hmm.
remembering that one right. And I asked him about the sandcastle or something. Where was the sandcastle? And he was pointing across the restaurant because if anyone's ever been to Cape May, there's actually a sandcastle in glass or plastic. It's encased in there. So literally, Jill and I were talking with him, and we ran across the restaurant really fast with Goofy. And I can remember some cast members stopping and looking at us run, like almost they were going to say no running, but then they saw Goofy come by. Woo! I'm like, we're running with Goofy in the restaurant to go look at the sandcastle. So that was fun. That was
Yeah,
fun.
that was good interaction that morning, and the food was good, and that just happened to be like you said. It was on a whim. We were like, "Do we go down and get quick serve?" And we just said, "Well, let's just go ask. Let's just go see." And I think we might have been like 20 minutes before breakfast stopped,
Yes.
and they were like, "Yeah, just give us." It might have been 10 minutes, and they
Uh huh.
sat us down. And we had a great breakfast there. Ooh, I agree, Disney mommy.
Yeah, we'll have to address that before we're done, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, Catherine said. Oh, Catherine says that's her contact photo in her phone. Is it? So, like when I call, like that's what comes up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. It's okay if you're goofy, you get a pass, says Allison.
Mhm.
Um, so are we up to that point where we're talking about our interactions, or were you
Yeah.
still covering things?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So this is one I touched on lightly earlier. So Jacob is 3 years old and he goes to Disney and he's meeting every character. So my concern and fear that he's going to be great. He's not going to be scared of the characters like
Mhm.
some kids are. And Jill was fine all the way, of course. And so, he comes when he's 4, And all of a sudden, I'm noticing he doesn't want to meet anybody. He's crying, freaking out, doesn't want to meet anyone. So it upset me at first because I'm one of those parents that I paid thousands of dollars for this trip, and if he's not gonna meet characters, like this is a disaster. But so we had dinner at Cinderella's royal table one night. It was the first time we'd ever eaten there, and we'll say Snow White comes by, and we're in like a booth kind of table at that point. So Jacob is sitting beside me deep in the booth, and probably Jill's on one side, Tammy on the other. He was buried in the back. So several princesses are coming through. He has no interest in them. I don't know why, but Belle comes over. He went under the table, I think, to go meet her. It was like, whoa, okay, that's Dad and Mom's favorite. And so I'll never forget that out of that whole trip, he embraced Belle from that moment. And I think he'll still say that that's his favorite princess today. And let's see. See, when I scribble things down, I should probably be a little bit neater. I'm going to skip that one because I can't even read my own handwriting. Oh, just voices. Just voices. When I meet certain characters that I can do their voice, I love surprising them when I meet them. And they always take a step back and they just laugh and they love it, like Goofy and Mickey. I like doing that just to surprise them. So that's fun for me. And so that's another type of meet and greet that I do. Hollywood and Vine for my birthday was so good that I would love to go again this year. We got to go back again this year. Besides, the food is great there. It's so fresh. But the characters, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they're much looser there. Or we just made the experience that way. Because you can turn around, you can see Goofy sitting at tables with guests.
Yeah.
We talked to Minnie about, and Tammy was all into it too, where we were talking to Minnie. She wanted to go shopping with Minnie and she said, you can just grab Mickey's credit card. Big cheese. And she liked that. Minnie was like, oh yeah, we'll go shopping. We'll spend Mickey's money. I'm like, Mickey can afford it. And then Mickey came over and I ratted the girls out. I'm like, yeah, so I hear that the girls are going out to spend your money. And he was like, oh boy. So we had a lot of fun with that meet and greet too. That's a great one. I love the Hollywood and Vine meet and greets. Chewbacca. There's two things with Chewbacca. Number one, like you said, I wish I would have known going into it, but I was so pleased and happy for Neil. That was like a core memory moment for Neil. You thought Neil would have met Chewbacca already, and for him to not done that, he was like a little schoolboy in there, and that was awesome. I loved it. Charles wants to know from earlier, which outlet should we visit? Oh, for what outlet should you visit? Well, if you're near the park, I'm going to suggest Vineland Road, V-I-N-E land. Vineland Road is the one that's closest to the parks.
Yeah.
The other one might be 25 minutes with traffic, give or take.
I don't think I've been to that one.
Yeah. But if you have a day that you're not in the parks and you have some time to kill, I would probably suggest you go to both. You're going to find probably 60%, 65% of the same things in both, but you might find something, in the other park. So if you have the time, it's definitely worth it. And the other thing with Chewie, the first time I met Chewie, I kind of got scared because, Han Solo often would scratch Chewie behind his ear, and Chewie liked it. So I tried to scratch Chewie behind his ear, and he growled at me. He was not happy. He shook his head no. I'm like, but Han does it all the time. I go, but that's because it's Han, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yes. I'm like, okay, don't want to upset a Wookiee.
No, don't do that.
Yeah. And of course, the Donald one is my favorite of all time. We just saw that a moment ago. I can't say that. The one you're about to show is my favorite of all time. Donald is my second. And a little bit more with that Donald interaction. That was Topolino's, and that's another one I can't wait to go back to.
Yeah.
It is not a prefixed menu. It is not a buffet. You get one thing, and it was good. The food was really good. So it was good. But the characters are great, and each character that comes out is dressed in a way that represents art.
Mm-hmm.
So in that video, you see Donald dressed like a sculptor. Minnie is a fashionista,
Mm-hmm.
I think,
I think you're right.
right?
Or was that
And
Daisy?
or Daisy was a fashionista. So what was
I
Minnie a
think she was
painter? No,
painter.
Mickey's a painter. Mickey was a painter.
Okay.
So I forget. I forget what Minnie was. But do you remember if you were you watching that live stream? Were you with
Um,
us yet? Were you with
I
us?
was watching. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you remember? I don't know why this came out. Maybe she had great shoes that day. I don't know. But I said, Minnie, is it possible for a man to fall in love with a mouse? And she laughed, but then she gave me the oh no,
Uh,
and she pointed to Mickey
uh-huh.
across the restaurant. So that was pretty good too.
Yeah.
So I guess I can say I hit on Minnie.
They're all good. To interact with adults and kids. Like it's just, it's a special type of interaction. And it's just
I,
really great.
I think the characters love when adults give them conversation interaction that they don't expect.
I think you're right.
So I
Think you're
feel
right.
like they enjoy anything that I do or Neil does or Tammy or you guys, whatever you can bring extra rather than like, oh, hi, and
Yeah.
then take a picture, which is totally fine for a lot of people because I'm sure there's a high percentage of the non-speaking characters that
Hmm.
just kind of get the, oh, hi, and just take a photo. And that's okay because not everybody has it in them to
True.
interact like that. And that brings me to the point where I think like every year I try to focus on one or two things for the channel for myself that I want to be better at. And it was maybe at this point 2022 where I went into 2022 and said I want to be better at character interactions.
Hmm.
And I wanted to do that for the audience so that they could enjoy those interactions. So I'm always trying. And there's been a few moments here and there where I'm in line and then I'm like, oh God, I don't have anything to bring to this meet and greet. And I'll ask chat, and chat has helped sometimes
Hmm.
with things to say. So um, you guys all help as well. If you go to the outlets, go early because parking gets tough. Tammy is right. You could literally drive around for 30 minutes before you get a parking spot at the character warehouses. So show
Really?
up before.
Wow.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Show up before they open would be my thing. Check the times. If they open at 9, get there for 8:30. Get there for 8:45,
Mm.
and you should be okay. And there's a lot of parking over there where you have to pay. It's just a regular parking spot, but they're like VIP spots.
Uh-huh.
So that takes away some of the free parking. But there's a lot of free parking to be had, but it's better if you go early.
Hmm.
Early or late. But the thing about going late is if there's a hot item, listen,
Yeah.
this is what happens over there. It's not all on the up and up over there. It, it really is not on the up and up. You have these bulk buyers that go in and they wait for them to open, and the hot items will go off the shelf really quick. So if you really want to look at what might debut in the morning that won't be there in an hour, then you ultimately want to be there in the morning
Mhm.
for sure. Yeah. There's so much I can say about that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So to wrap up my interactions, I think we hit on all of them except for the main one. But can I count Ahsoka? Maybe if she was dressed up, but the Ashley Eckstein interaction
Yeah.
was so great. Such a sweetheart. I'm glad I was able to bring that to our audience as well. And she was a sweetheart and really fun to talk with. I wish I would have had a card for her. I
Mhm.
mean, would she really have looked this up? I don't know, but she seemed pretty genuine. Where she might have popped in and checked out Living in Diz. But we had a good time together, and I know I genuinely made her laugh as I
Yeah.
walked away, and I did Yoda again. She goes, "Oh my God, that is so good." But my thing was I wanted to be able to say that, because Ahsoka in the animated stories interacts with Yoda. Now I can say that I interacted with the voice
Yeah.
of Ahsoka.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. When I meet characters, let's see, let's put Neil's up here. He says, when I meet characters, they aren't characters to me. They are real. I treat them that way no matter how many times I meet them. I am thrilled. I can echo exactly what Neil says there. I didn't say it, but I actually am thinking that, like you said too. Like I'm in their world. So
Yeah.
you want to talk about things that they know. I mean, sometimes I might say something about, the stream or this or that, and especially in Galaxy's Edge, they'll kind of reel you back in and be like, "Oh, I don't know what that is,"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know. So that's good too. That's good too. So I said this the other night when I was walking through China. It's really hard to go through China without thinking of probably the greatest memory our family has ever had in Disney World. And I only say I'd love to hear a better meet and greet than this. Not saying it because it's my daughter, but this meet and greet didn't just last. Now I've seen some princesses grab a child by the hand and walk away from the meet and greet spot. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how long those have lasted. I'm sure there's been some that may have lasted 15 minutes, but that Mulan meet and greet was like, I want to say it was 40 minutes, 45 minutes. They did so much that night, and it didn't only. We'll show a little bit, and I'll finish up.
Yep.
So
And you can talk over it.
I can narrate it. So
Yeah.
this is where Mulan sat with Jill, and forgive me, I never remember the name of the big building, but they were sitting in the big building on the bench, and they were sitting near the cherry blossom tree, and she was talking about Mulan was talking about how mother always says don't pick the blossoms off the tree, always pick the ones that fall to the ground, and she took the time to make it so she could put some of the cherry blossoms in Jill's hair. That right there, I took as there's a part two, and that was the part two of the thumbnail there. But
Mm-hmm.
this is from part one, and look at that genuine hug and all this. And this is actually at the end of the night. So Mulan grabbed Jill's hand. They went into this area, which is a shop, and they were shopping, and they were just looking at things. And Mulan's picking up fans and playing with fans, and Jill became like this. Look how small Jacob is over there. Jill became like a VIP because they wouldn't even allow another child to approach Mulan during this time.
Mm.
Guests were just watching in awe, and then they'd even try to start to go up. And it's almost like guests sense that mostly too that I shouldn't look at that bracelet. Um, oh, this is actually part two. This
Yeah.
is part two.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about that bracelet in a second. So in part one, she put flowers in Jill's hair. They went to this area. They went shopping, and then this is back then when the Chinese acrobats would perform.
Mm.
So she would. So they were performing. So she grabs Jill's hand, and they go watch the. Look at Jill crying. It meant so much to her. I just want to cuddle her right now. I just want to squeeze her. Oh, it's my girl. Little Peanut. That is still her name, everybody. Little Peanut.
Mm.
She has new glasses. She looks so cute. So they were watching the acrobats, and a cast member came up to me and said, "Would you mind if Mulan presented a gift to her?" And I said, "No." And they said, "What do you think she would like in that store?" And I don't remember if I had given them some ideas. But after watching the acrobats, they went back into the big building and sat down, and Mulan gave her a gift. And I can't remember what the gift was. And they literally took it from the store
Mm.
and gave it to Jill. So all that alone is an unbelievable meet and greet. But this meet and greet goes beyond one day. They knew at the time we were a vlogging channel, so I was just vlogging this. I was vlogging the meet and greet, and we almost didn't meet Mulan the second time. That first time, Jill went through quick, and they took a picture, and the picture was blurry. Thank goodness the picture was blurry. She made us go back and take another one, and that's when that adventure began. So from there, they knew I was vlogging it, and I'm like, oh my god, I got to capture all of this on film. This could be something.
Yeah.
And it turns out that it becomes the most watched video on our channel.
Yeah.
I could have put it away and not done anything with it. Something told me to keep going, so I did, and we made a whole vlog about it. So from there, we leave. They must have asked me what our channel was because I'm at Magic Kingdom now. We park hopped, and we almost never park hop.
Hmm.
And we're getting on. I'll never forget it. We're getting on the People Mover, and I have a moment to kill, so looking at my phone, I'm checking Instagram, and the cast member private messaged me, "Are you still at Epcot?" I'm like, "No, why?" Mulan enjoyed her meet and greet so much with Jill that she made her something, and she was hoping she was still in the park. So I thought quick enough to say, "Well, if you could tell me when Mulan is available again, we would love to meet up with her again." So I think it took a few weeks to finally line up, but I found out when Mulan would be back, and we went back to Epcot, and I had the cameras rolling again, and there's actually a sequel, which is the end part you saw there, and she made Jill that jade bracelet, and so
Unbelievable.
yeah, so we show up in China in the walkway in the front, and we're standing there kind of waiting, and I'm like, okay, she'll probably be out soon. She comes running out down the stairs, Mulan. I've never seen a princess run, and she yells, "Jillian!" and she grabs her, sweeps her up, and turns and gives her a big hug, and Jill and I had run to that spot from the gate because we thought we were going to be late. So Jill's still out of breath, and I can hear Mulan. She grabs her hand and she takes her back around to the arrow where she meets and greets. And I hear her say, "Jillian, why are you so out of breath?" So they sit down, and she talks about this whole story that she goes into, and she unfolds out of the cloth uh, the bracelet, the jade bracelet that she made, and what it means. And she put it on her. It gives me the chills just thinking about it. And I can't even remember what else they did that day, but they wouldn't let any other guests meet with Mulan while Jill had her private time with her. And there was going to be a third meet and greet, but COVID hit, and that was the end of that. Now, the story comes full circle. Last year, I talked with a friend. I talked with the cast member that kind of helped this thing all go along,
Hmm.
and she put me in touch with Mulan, who is literally over in Japan now, and she and Jill talk,
That's awesome.
and she has also said that her favorite meet and greet of all time was meeting Jill.
It's I watched that a couple times, and what sticks out, like especially after February. So if you remember when we were in meeting Jasmine, Finley's just sitting there talking and talking about YouTube and some show, and I'm like, now luckily there was nobody behind us really. But I wanted her to hurry up so that we could get moving because I'm like, Jasmine needs to do other things. And she just sat there and, was okay with it all. And then you look at how long that interaction with Jill was in part one. And then for her to go back and meet her again or ask to meet her again, it's amazing. And you realize just how special they all are. You know, they take the time, and it's really a part like you. I don't think you're going to get that in Disney World, or excuse me, in outside of Disney World, at Six Flags or something like that. You're not going to get that. I mean, first of all, you don't have the character lineup in a park like that. You probably have Peanuts and the gang there and some of those, or maybe even Sesame Place. I haven't been to Sesame Place in so long. Who knows? Um, how good their character interactions are, but I don't think you're going to get that outside of Disney. I just don't.
It's the Disney magic, it's the Disney magic. The characters are just otherworldly compared to all of these other great characters.
Hmm.
It's and it was Mulan reaching out to us,
Right.
not us saying, "Hey, could we get another meet and greet?" I mean, it was unbelievable. That's why I always think about it when I'm in China. And is this why Jill? No, no, Jill loved China already, and I was told that Mulan wanted to do more for her because she could see it in Jill's
Mm.
eyes, and they knew it was going to be special. So we got lucky that day. And I'll tell
Yeah.
you, there it had been months that we had been going to Epcot, and Jill would be so disappointed every time. She had never. It took her a while to meet Mulan. We went by China, and we just wouldn't line up with her schedule, and she'd go, "Oh,
Mm.
I didn't get to meet Mulan again," and then finally it happened. So it was
Wow.
worth the wait. Worth the wait for sure.
So we had another question come in. Off subject, but thoughts on soaring over New York City?
I think that you could do it, right? I mean, Neil can chime in too. I'm just thinking of things like you could literally just take it up from the south all the way through the north of Manhattan, right?
Hmm.
The island, you could just go right up it. You could go by you can circle around the Statue of Liberty. I think there's plenty to do in New
I think
York
so
City.
too. Certainly, you can go out to Queens, really take them way out to like Riverhead and show them cows, and they'd be like, "Wait, we're in New York? Yeah,
Yeah,
you're in New
right,
York."
right, right.
You know, I mean, of course, she did say New York City, but um, Rob is in chat. Hey, Rob, what
What's up, Rob?
what would you think about a soaring over New York City? Being you're in New York, but there are
Yeah,
amazing things to see in the city. That would be kind of cool.
and we've talked about those things about Soren too. Like I feel like you could do Disney could I don't know how I don't think it would be that much to produce these in this day and age with digital and all that stuff. Could
Yeah,
be wrong, but again, it goes back to my idea like why couldn't we mix it up so you don't know what you're going to see? Why not Disney if you're listening? You go in. You don't know if you're going to get soaring over New York City, soaring around the world, soaring over Idaho. No, sorry, Idaho. You probably wouldn't want that. But the potatoes. Potatoes are good. No, but you can pick these places and mix it up, and you never know what you're going to see.
yeah.
I still think that's a great idea.
Well, speaking of that, they did announce that Star Tours will be getting what I forget the date. I'm sorry. Was it April?
April 5th.
April 5th will be the new scenes in Star Tours. And with the new scenes, that's going to give you over 250 possible shows with the new scenes. So I'm really excited to see that. The first time I'll get to see that will be May 4th. So I'm sure that'll be a walk on.
Yeah, that's gonna be a walk. That's gonna be you are gonna DAS that so many times.
Yeah.
Jacob and I have already said this for I was gonna say anyone that's listening. We've already made the plan. I suggested it. He loves it. I think that I know what we're gonna do. So it debuts on the 5th. We'll be there at Hollywood Studios on the 6th, just for that. I will do other things, but that's why we'll be there. We're just gonna ride that thing. We're gonna ride it. Get ready, Neil. Tammy can't though. Tammy can only tolerate it
So
once
much.
usually.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll do it throughout the day, and we'll just keep checking in on it. And then who
Good
knows?
idea.
Maybe at the end of the night it slows down, and we can just get on, get off, get on, get off,
Yeah.
and see in one day if we can see all the new scenes. That would be really great. And my other thing about that is, are they going to do what they've done before? The last time they debuted a bunch of different lands or worlds, they only did those. They shut off all the old ones, and it was pretty
Oh,
much just running the newest trilogy.
okay.
So kind of hope they do that again, so
Okay.
you don't get any of the old stuff.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. So yeah, I'm excited to see that. I have not seen Ahsoka, so I
Neil has a
don't have
point
any
here
base.
too. Neil has a point here, right here. We're talking again. We're talking the Country Bear syndrome, the Splash Mountain syndrome, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's
Mm-hmm.
going to happen. I didn't even think about this. Right now, people are coming that are not going to be here when that debuts, and they might not be here for another year. So this is the last time that they can see what is existing now for a
Mm-hmm.
bit. So
Yeah.
they're going to go and flood Star Tours right now, which is still a little bit different from any of the others because none of these planets are going away, really.
Right. Right. Even when
But
Neil
maybe
and
for
I
a while.
went, um, whenever that was. Was that January? Um, and the wait was like 40 minutes for Star Tours. So,
Yeah, it makes
yeah.
you scratch your head. You're like, huh?
Hmm.
What? All right. Did we touch on everything?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Very
Hopefully we
cool.
help some folks out, know where to meet some characters. They've been introducing new meet and greets, so keep an eye out for those as they come up. We'll certainly try to talk about them here on the show when we find them.
Okay. So let's touch quickly on this week in the parks. This week in the parks was fun. I mean, it's always fun, but we were at Epcot on Saturdays, and Saturdays was a good time. It was our first time at Flower and Garden Festival
Mhm.
this year, so we get to see some great topiaries as always expected. I would say Jacob was very vocal this Saturday, this past Saturdays, and he I really enjoyed hearing his feedback. At first, I'm like, why he sounded so negative today? But he was just giving his opinions. But the kid makes really good points. And his point was, of course, Disney wants to feature Asha up front because Wish is the newest thing. He didn't think that it was really right to do that. And just for aesthetics, like, I guess the display is too small to be in the front.
Oh, okay.
And when you look at it, you're like, yeah, it kind of is. I mean, that comes off the heels of Encanto being so huge.
Huge.
That display was huge, and I loved it. So it's a good point. If you're gonna feature something up front, just make it bigger. I think there was no problem that it was Wish,
Hmm.
but they probably should have made it bigger. Like maybe you make the star nice and big,
Yeah.
beside her or something. But just an observation. And then we went over to the new area, and you knew that Disney was going to do something with Dreamer's Point with that cemented center there
Hmm.
with flowers in it. So they put Figment in there. Figment's made up of the succulents. And I liked it. Jacob thought, the size of Figment and everything, you probably should have put him up front and Asha here, is what I think he thought. So, but
Maybe it's possible that Dreamer's Point is becoming more of a focal point of that and not the front. Similar to Port of Entry, right? Port of Entry, that's where they put the tree. You get to see Luminous from that point. So maybe that's why, because you do have typically in that area you have a good display there as well for the festivals. So maybe that's their thinking. It'll be interesting to see the next festival what they do in that centerpiece to see if it's bigger than what's in the front.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I like it. I like that they're using that. So, like you said, like what will they do for the next festival? Uh, they didn't do anything for the previous one, but I want to say when that opened, we must have been fairly deep into. Well, you had a couple of short festivals, so they
Yeah,
probably didn't want to go ahead and put some effort into that.
that's
And
true.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what goes in there festival after festival, for sure. Moving on with that day, we finally got on Guardians. We hadn't done it in a while, and it's just my fault that I just kept forgetting to wake up and get the reservation for Guardians. Had so much fun on Guardians. It's very consistent with streaming now. It doesn't really lag. It will always lag right at the very end for a
Hmm.
moment, just for a moment. And knowing that, I'll refresh quick
Well,
coming
it's
into
it's
it.
as
So
you're coming back out of space, coming into Epcot. I mean, you're gonna
yeah,
lag there.
yeah, all the speed and everything,
Yeah.
So that's gonna happen. Stop me if I miss anything on Saturdays. So we tried some brand new foods. They were great. Loved them all. Loved the buffalo chicken plant-based poutine and some other foods. And we did not know that Chicago was playing that night. Well, the Jason, is it Jason Chef?
Hmm.
we didn't know that one of the lead singers in the history of Chicago was playing, and I'm glad. We want to still, Tammy and I still want to thank whoever mentioned it because we would have totally, probably passed by it and not done it. And I think that it just helped add to an amazing stream on Saturdays. We tried new foods, we looked at the topiaries, we did our typical Luminous and World Showcase walkthrough, but we also did Chicago, and they were amazing. I thought of Neil in the horn section. I'm like, Neil should be in that horn. Neil, I know you don't always want to play over there, but that would have been a good one for you. They were really, really
Yeah.
kicking over there. So there was that, and then I like the spur of the moment, the spontaneous move to jump into the. I'm gonna get the whole title wrong again, but the La Creperie, we'll call it,
Mm-hmm.
out the sit down restaurant in France, right in the alcove where you can ride Remy's, and it was so spur of the moment that Tammy didn't even know it was happening. I took a sharp left into the restaurant, and I don't even know if she heard me ask the cast member. I'm like, "It looks like you have a lot of seats, so can you take in walk ups?" And she's like, "Absolutely." Tammy's like, "Wait, what? What are we doing?" And I'm like, "Come on in." So she decided she didn't want to eat any of that, but she hung out with us, and Jacob and I got down on two crepes. And if anybody wants to go back on that Saturday's one at Epcot, go back and check out the portion where we ate at the creperie, because we learned a lot. We learned it all with all of our wonderful viewers that were watching at the time, and we learned a lot together. And I
Yeah.
asked all the questions, and I even learned how to eat those crepes better. We were trying to eat the buckwheat off the sides because they they present it in a square, and then they fold the edges of the square, and all of your toppings, the fillings, are in the middle and they're exposed
Mm-hmm.
in what's left of the square. So we ate the edges first, which buckwheat to me is not very good by itself. But then we started to learn towards the end that if you fold it, yeah, Le Creperie di Paris is what Pamela said. Thank you, Pamela. And I found that once you rolled it and ate it together, amazing.
Hmm.
They were amazing. They were amazing. So always roll it. Find a way to roll it. Buckwheat is gluten free. And I thought of this today. What I would do too is if you had a square, and it's sitting in there as a square, I would spread it out with your utensils so it touches both edges down the center. And then I would fold that crepe, and then you'll have filling all the way through.
Mm.
So there's a 40%, it's $40 if you do the prefixed. So the prefixed is a super salad, a savory crepe, a drink of your choice. Some of those are hard ciders, or you can get soda, and then you finish it off with a sweet crepe.
Hmm.
So I got the ham and cheese, caramelized onions, and then I went with the bananas and caramel, and Jacob went with the apples and caramel, I think, for that one. I can't remember. Oh, and he got the same ham one. He wasn't as sold on it as I was, but good experience there. But I do want to say that if you have a discount, don't fall for the prefixed. You'll actually save a little money by getting those things individually, and they'll give you the 10% discount that way.
Hmm. Good idea.
Yeah. So we did that, and we gave $100 away. We gave Tammy's $100 away,
Yeah.
and to celebrate 13.5K, and we'll do it when we hit 14K, and hopefully that'll come sooner than later. And we just have a lot of fun celebrating those milestones, and our latest winner ended up with a Loungefly.
Loungefly that um I had forgot that you could ship items right from Disney World. So that was pretty cool that you did that. Didn't even have to, pack it and ship it on your own. So good idea there.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because, well, I had been talking about it for a while, and finally I decided let's follow through with this. It might be cheaper to do this, and I'm going to guess that it was cheaper to do it
Hmm.
because literally, the it was like I don't know, it was like 10 or $12 to do it,
Yeah.
and Tammy doesn't have to worry about going to the post office and taking her time out to do that.
Yep.
All you do is pay for it and ship it. and we did it. So when anybody wins, if they can get us their address while we're live, quick,
Mm-hmm.
just send a quick email. Maybe I'll have to try to remember to say that. A couple things. Make sure that we're in the U.S. and make sure that you can email us your address right away.
Yeah.
And if you don't, we'll just have to say we'll choose a new winner if you can't get that out to us in a few minutes, so we don't hold up the stream too much.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I am at the register. Tammy's taking everyone around streaming, and Charles, you're so welcome. He says thank you guys for all the tips and tricks I've learned over the past few months. I appreciate it. That's a big part of what we're here for, Charles. So I'm so glad. I'm starting to ask people in the parks, like, did you learn anything from us? And they're all saying yes, absolutely. And they go down the list of what we've taught them, and I love that. We're a teaching channel, but we're having so much fun. You don't know that you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
So quick moment here, and then I guess we can wrap it up. So I'm at the register, and I picked up this, which I love. I am using it. My orange bird corksicle. This is the one that I use in the car now, where I bring a Starbucks pre-bought, sits in the car and waits for me, like I did the other night. I'm drinking water out of it tonight. I do have a blue one that Tammy bought for Christmas for me, so I use that one at work. So I got my two corksicles working for me. So I got the corksicle and I got the Orange Bird Magic Band, and I decided, I guess the cast member rung it up wrong. I mean, Tammy would have taken more of a look at it, but I kind of stopped for a second. I was like, oh, okay. So she rang up the Magic Band, and she rang up the Lounge Fly. No, something else. No, she rang up these two things, and she's like, oh, $150. And I was like, oh, okay. So Tammy says it was $13 to mail it from Disney. So convenient. Yep, we will do that from now on. It's done. It's over. It's out of our hands.
Yeah.
And that's it. So the price didn't sound right. But even if I was accepting of the price, I said, you know what? I'm going to pay out of my personal account for one of these things, and I'll pay out of our YouTube account for the other one. So I got this girl, using one card for one card for the other, and then I was like, okay, I got to go back to the LID account for the Lounge Fly that was bought. So she's doing that. Then Tammy comes over with these Crocs. Lawrence wants these Crocs too. And then you're calling, and I'm like, I came 2 seconds from freaking out. And then I was like, no, it's fine. And I'm like, okay. I said to her, we're going to do this one too on a separate purchase. She's like, it's fine.
It took a lot for me to call, because I'm like, oh my God. Now, luckily you didn't have the stream, so I didn't feel as bad, but I'm like, he's in the middle of, I got to call him about this.
And this is nothing to say, like, we'll always get whatever you guys want with pleasure. But I was like, when we were done, I'm like, why did they have to have Crocs right this very minute? They're coming in 4 days. Which I didn't mind, but it just made me think, why was it such an emergency? And I was thinking, well, maybe they want to come off the plane, in character for something Catherine has in mind. But
No,
Tammy said that Catherine wasn't able to get her size last time. So since they were there, she wanted to make sure she secured them.
Yeah, she's trying to get them for a friend of hers, and when we were in the parks at Magic, she went all around while we were waiting for the parade to start. She went to like 4 or 5 different stores, and nobody in Magic Kingdom had them. So when she saw Tammy pass them by, she was like, "Oh my God, the Crocs!"
Neil says, I always wear Crocs. They go with my shorts.
Yeah, okay.
That's funny. So
Okay.
I am gonna say I need to get some information maybe from Neil, because I think the family might actually all buy Skechers when we think it's gonna rain. We need these rainproof Skechers because you and Neil wear them.
Mhm.
So maybe I'll get myself. I mean, I don't mind the Crocs, but maybe I'll get into a nice Sketcher and enjoy it that way without getting my feet wet.
Yeah, they're comfortable. They're a little heavier than a normal sneaker, but other than that, they're comfortable. So it just takes a little getting used to, but no, I like them.
Okay. jumping over quickly to Mondays, we switched Mondays. We were normally at Magic Kingdom, and we went to Epcot just because while we were watching Chicago, chat was really wanting to go back for Richard Marx. And I remembered back, like when we previewed Flower and Garden and we looked at the list of names, I remember saying Richard Marx was one that I would go see. So I forgot, I didn't even realize he was there that quick. So when chat said it, I'm like, okay, we'll go. And it was an amazing night. It was funny. I started the stream. We didn't get that second trash can that they had. And going back to that, I don't even know why I thought this. I think it was because Tammy thought that she had it under control, but she didn't. So the 2 cans were out in the park, and she's like, I'll just wait. I'm like, you should get it. And then crew sends a $20 PayPal to get both trash cans, and Tammy's like, nah, we'll get them later. And when we went into Creations, she only found one. I was like, I'm gonna laugh at you if they don't have the second one. But it was more of because I knew that they'd probably have it on Monday out there, and they did. So funny, I came in, right, and my plan was I'm going to show the rocket launch, and then I'm going to go on Mission Space. It was a nice segue, so we did that, and that was a lot of fun. Met a lady who got paired up with me. Only she and I were going into the ride, and she's like, oh, are you live streaming? I don't want to be on your live stream. And I'm like, don't worry, I'll avoid you the best I can. So then we go into the queue, further in the queue, and she didn't know where to stand. I'm like, you stand right here, and I told her how the ride worked, and then we got in, and I like to always role play, so I'm flicking buttons, and I'm like, Red 5 standing by, and she goes, Gold Leader checking in or whatever, and I'm like, what? I'm like, you're a Star Wars fan? Did we just become friends? So she had fun with me, and I always like to show people that live streamers are not bad people. Not all of us, anyway. So that was good. She had a really good time, and she admitted that. So we want to blast the chat for Tony and Steve Bullock, and Andy Powers. What is he this week? Who is he this week? I can't even see.
Andy Disney Whales guy.
Andy Disney Whales guy. We appreciate that. I can't see who won.
I can't see that either.
Oh, okay, I got it. Nana Pooh Bear, congratulations, as well as X-Men 99. Welcome back to the group. So what that gets you is it gets your name highlighted in green. You get the badge next to your name. You get to use all the exclusive emojis to the channel. You get your members only podcast access, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time every Wednesday. And you also get your name in the credits at the end of future live streams. So lots of cool stuff that you get with that $5 membership. And we hope you enjoy it enough that you'll join on your own when that expires in 30 days.
Very good.
There we go. I think we hit on all the points we wanted to hit on, right?
Yeah, I like it. It's going to be weird not being live next week for the podcast, but we are live in the parks like every day. Shirley
Renee, you and anyone else can always call me out on that. She says I'm a paying member and I did not see my name in the credits. I find that I don't doubt her, but I don't know how that can happen because we do a master copy and then transfer it for whatever YouTube is showing. So I'm going to look into that for you because you should be in there. You know what I'm going to do. Do you have anything left to say? I think we did a great job. If anybody has any other follow-up questions, right, for character meet and greets or anything on your mind, definitely email us at thedispod.com. And also comment at the end of this podcast because that also helps YouTube to know that we're doing something great and interesting. Yep. And it helps the channel. Yeah. So
I was going to say, I'll run the sponsor.
Yes, run the sponsor quick, and we'll come right back.
All right.
Looking for a home that offers the perfect blend of luxury, comfort, and convenience with Disney World in your backyard? Victor Naraki is a licensed realtor with Vision Home Real Estate, LLC. He is here to help you find the home of your dreams. With over 13 years of experience in the vacation home market and a proven track record of success, Victor is the perfect partner to guide you through every step of the home buying process. So why wait? Visit DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com today to learn more about Victor's exclusive range of properties and schedule a viewing with him today. Your dream home is just a click away. If you're
We're
There
back.
you go. So, be quiet, Catherine. I just checked even on the website, and Shirley Renee is not there. So we will make sure that you are back in there. I typically update the credits every Saturday, so you won't see it tomorrow, but you'll see it on Saturdays that we have you in there correctly. So definitely call me out on that if someone isn't in there, because it gives me great joy to honor you all by doing that. So if you don't see yourself in there, let me know for sure. All right. Do you have a quote to go by as we head out of here?
I do have a quote. So it goes along with something that you said earlier about being a teaching channel, actually. So I would rather entertain and hope that people learn something than educate people and hope that they were entertained.
Nice. Very well said.
By Walt Disney.
Very well said, Walt. And I love the tradition that we started. So if anybody else does it, you know where it began. Add it to the list, Neil. Things that have been copied over 6 years almost, which is always go say goodbye to Walt on our way out from Epcot.
Yeah.
With genuine thanks. Yes. All right, everyone. We'll see you. So next week, just a programming reminder: no members only podcast next week. But what we do have for you is we will have the Diz Pod at 7 p.m. 7? Are we still doing 7 with that?
6:30.
Oh, 6:30. 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time will be the newest Diz Pod, and it won't be live. So don't try to talk to us.
Why are they not answering my question?
Exactly. So Jill says she didn't see herself. I feel like Jill kind of came. Was it this week that you came in, Jill? It all depends on when I update.
Yeah.
So you both will be in there in the next one, which will be on Saturdays, is when it gets refreshed. So I lost my train of thought. Oh, programming. So 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the Diz Pod next Wednesday. And then as soon as that's done, we're going to bump you out to Lawrence and Catherine and friends over at Hollywood Studios for extra magic hours.
Yep. Should be a lot of fun. A lot of Mickey bars, a lot of popcorn, a lot of rides with very low wait times. So we're looking forward to doing Tower of Terror, Slinky Dog, see what else. I've certainly got to do Rise again. So we got a lot of live streams coming up for you next week.
Yeah, lots of fun content. Oh, she said it was 2 weeks ago, but no problem. Why are we missing some of these?
I don't know.
That's a concern. Like we take from the YouTube master list. So
yeah, I'll look at that tonight after.
Sounds good. Yeah, Jill and Shirley, we will look at that tonight.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe it'll be corrected for tomorrow.
Oh boy.
Maybe. I don't know. We got a lot to do. We're actually going to go off here and record next week's right now. So
yeah. And
we should.
And we're going to have different shirts.
I was just going to say, we are sharing a brain. We are going to change shirts.
My other shirt is somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere.
Great podcast tonight. Thank you, Corey and Lawrence. Have a great night. We love you all. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you next week on a recorded Diz Pod. But I am live in the parks tomorrow night. If you're listening live right now or you're still listening on March 6th, I am live at Magic Kingdom.
Love it.
And I think Alyssa and Neil will be joining us, and we'll close that baby out. It's open till 11. So
good.
We'll do it. All right. So for the Diz Pod, I'm Corey.
I'm Lawrence. We will see you next week, but we'll see you tomorrow in the parks.
Sounds good.
Looking for
People living of any we're allowed to come out of hiding.